All right, in this video, we are doing the red series with our red background, and we have all our raw photos that we're going to edit, and we're going to take to Photoshop. I'm going to show you how to take your raw photo from looking like this to making it look just like this. It's a step-by-step process, but that's what this video is all about. First step, you're going to go over to Canvas, and you're going to go over to the folder that says raw photos. If you're in my photography class, everything in the blue we do have to work on. You're going to click on raw photos and it's going to open this folder with all your photos. When you find the photo that you're looking for, you're going to go ahead and select it. You're going to right click and you're going to download your picture. Now, something else to look at over here is you're going to see two folders. One is called graffiti texture and one of them is called grunge wallpaper. If you double click to open, you'll see that we have a few large photos of texture wallpaper. It's only for the texture, not for the color. Select the one that you like, and you're going to download the one that you would like to use for your photo. If you go back, I also want you to go here to graffiti texture in this folder, and I'd like you to download one of these graffiti photos. They're also large as well. Pick one that you like, and you're going to download it as well too. So download that. You should have 3 downloaded folders in your download folder. When you go here to downloads, you should have your graffiti, you should have your texture wallpaper, and you should have your photo. Put all of those into Lightroom Classic. All right, I'm going to go here. Okay. The background obviously has the texture and the graffiti, so we're going to go ahead and get started with that. I'm going to go over here to this one, and I'm going to show you step by step how to edit this photo. All right. First thing you'll need to do, go over here to lens correction. You're going to go ahead and click on enable profile correction and go ahead and set the vignette all the way to 200. Next, you're going to go here to detail. Even though our ISO is 100 and it's pretty clean, if you zoom in over here, you'll notice that not on the subject, but on the background, there's tiny little bits of noise. That's simply because it is dark. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to detail and we're going to click on denoise. It is an AI process, very new. It's actually one of my favorite features now in Lightroom Classic. It's able to take very high ISO numbers, excuse me, and able to clean it up very well. Takes a little bit, but it's worth it. Okay, look at that. You want to compare it, click the Y button on your keyboard, and you'll see side by side over here. This is the one that before with all the noise, and here it's a lot cleaner. Gorgeous. All right. After detail, we're going to go here to basic. Now, we're going to clean up just a little bit of the background. So I'm going to go here to the remove tool. I'm going to select this over here. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. All right. Next, I want texture in the hair. So we're gonna go here to the very top under presets. You're gonna open adaptive portrait and you're gonna go down to texture hair and go ahead and click on that. AI is gonna find the hair and it's going to give it a little bit more texture. There we go. And you can see more of that shine and reflection. I also like to do enhanced clothes. I feel like it really makes either the clothes pop a little bit more or it fixes the saturation a little bit. Okay. Now, the photo looks pretty decent. I mean, the colors look really rich, but we're going to go here over to color mixer. We're going to go here to point color. And in point color, you're going to get the eyedropper and you're going to select the background, any hue over here. Just going to go ahead and click. You can balance it out the way you would like it. I want more of a richer red. So I'm going to do a saturating shift over here. I'm going to do a little bit deeper red. Illuminate how much light illumination you want. Here. You can also change the tone. This is called the red series, so I encourage you to stay in the red range, okay? This magenta, this pink is not red. So stay in the red area because after all, this series is called red. Okay. Go back to basics. If you want to, you can add a little bit of exposure, just a bit, not too much. We can do a little bit of dehaze, a little bit of clarity. It's up to you how much saturation. The more saturation you add like this, the more unrealistic it looks, and it really hurts the eye. It's very strong. So try to be subtle with your colors. You can add just a little bit, but don't make it go too unnatural. If you go here, you'll see how this just looks really bad. You want to go ahead and make sure it looks a little bit more natural. Okay. Now, one thing I like to show you is in masking. We're going to go here to mask. You can select the background if you like by clicking the plus sign and doing select background. We can take away some of the texture and make it nice and flat by going down here over to effects. And we're going to take away some of the clarity and take away some of the texture. And what you'll notice is over here, some of the texture from the red paper and the folds become a little bit more blurred. You can change the dehaze a little bit if you like, but I think it takes away some of the red color. Next, another one that I'd like to do is we're going to do select object. Some of you have some writing on your t-shirt or maybe an object. Once you do that, click on the box over here. I'm going to go ahead and select this over here, the pandas that we did for this photo. It selected this one, but it didn't do that. So we're going to add maybe a little brush over here. Just kind of get that one in. Okay. Next, what I'm going to do is I want to take the color away from this. I want to do just kind of a white. So I'm going to go here to saturation. I take away that color right there, and it gives it a nice kind of a white look. And you can do other shadows, a little white over here, and on the curves, you can do a little bit of a dehaze. Here we go. Kind of gives it that nice, cool contrast effect over here with the white. So I discovered this while I was just kind of playing around. And I think that's the best thing about really being creative is just making these choices where you select something and find out with trial and error if something works or not. There we go. Take away that color. And over here, took away that color. Give it a little bit more white. Here we go. You little dehaze for here. Just a little texture. All right. Last mask I'm going to do is another select object. And I'm going to do that over here for the text. I love when I can read text in photography. There we go. Let's see how to capture it. You just do a little black to kind of get a little, so we can read it just a bit. This way. Yeah. There. Okay. Go back here to basics. All right, what a difference we made from the beginning. So this is by clicking on the Y button, this is the before, and this is the after. Nice little difference over here, just by making some improvements. All right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to right click on my photo, and I'm going to take it to Photoshop 2026. If it doesn't pop up, just go ahead and click on Photoshop. There we are. All right, a few things to do. One, I'm going to do the dodge and burn for this. So I'm going to go here to the bottom in the adjustments layer, and I'm going to do a curves. Go down over here. I'm going to do Command I from my keyboard. All this from burn. And do curves. Bring it up over here. Do Command I. And call this one dodge. Okay. Now, the more you do it, the more you have more practice. I'm going to do brush. Let's get a little bit here. We're going to hold the shift button. This. I'm going to go around the boundary like this. Around the lip. Out like this. Do around the ear. Stay right here around the forehead. Let's do red over here. Let's do red over here as well. Okay. think that's all I like for that. Next, we're going to go to burn. Get to the side over here. And look domes under the chin. Okay, that should be it. Next, we're going to feather. And I like to do about 60 points. Dodge, same thing. Feather to about 60 points. Usually burn is the one that always is the darkest, so I turn it down to like about 78. Dodge looks pretty good, but I'll still turn it down. Okay. Click on dodge, hold the shift button on your keyboard, click on burn, and you're going to right click on top and do a new group. I'm going to call it dodge and burn. Click OK. Just to kind of give it a little bit of realism, I like to go down to about 80. And zoom out. This is before, and this is after with dodge and burn. Just gives a lift over here to the cheeks. There we go. Kind of with the color gives a more metallic look, which is kind of great. So it kind of boosts up the highlights, give it a very silvery metallic look. Okay, we're going to go ahead and click on background this time. When you click on background, we're going to go here to the tools panel, and we're going to click on the fourth one called object selection tool. Now we're not going to use it, so do not click over here. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do select subject. There we go. All right. Now, we're going to make a copy of this, so we're going to do Command J on your keyboard. I repeat, Command J. And you'll see on here in the layers panel, this is the one with the background, and this is the one without it. So we have two layers over here. All right, now the fun begins. We're going to go here to File, at the very top, and we're going to go ahead and click on Place Embedded. You get to choose your texture, your graffiti, anything that you like. I'm going to choose this one over here. Place. All right, I'm going to rotate this around to 90 degrees. So pay attention to the number, make sure it's 90. Okay. And then I'm going to stretch this one out. And click done. Notice the layers over here is above the layer one in the background. You're going to take this layer and you're going to move it under layer one. So it goes right behind your subject. Then you're going to click on the blending modes, go from normal, and you're going to go down to, let's do, you can do an overlay or you can do a soft light. I think I'm going to do soft light for this one. There we go. You can also add another texture. So we're going to go to File, place embedded, go to my downloads. I have this in your downloads, you have your graffiti, you have your texture. So I'm going to do place, same thing, turn it around to 90 degrees, right there. Stretch that out. Make sure it's under the layer 1. Click on overlay or soft light. There are choices. However, I don't want you to go too crazy. Do something that looks good to the eye. I would either choose overlay or soft light. I'm going to do soft light, and I'm going to change the opacity because it's way too strong. Do about what looks good to my eye. Not too much texture, just a little bit right there. Okay. And there you have it. We have our textured background. We have our dodge and burn. Go ahead and click on File, and we're going to click on Save. That's going to take it back to Lightroom Classic. All right, now we just add the finishing touches. Do not feel like you're done yet. There's a few things we can do. And usually for me, it's with masking. So in the masking, I like to do a radial gradient. I want to separate a little bit of the subject from the background. So this is where you do a radial. And you're going to do subtract the subject. Bring the exposure just a little bit right there. Just so that way we can separate the output right there. Good. You can also use the brush tool to brush a certain part. Do like a little bit of a brush here. Whoosh. Sorry about that. And you can go ahead and add just a little bit of exposure. Just like that. See, you can also make it a little bit bigger. Do another brush. Just do a little bit over here. Give it a little bit of a punch with exposure. Just a tad over here. It is like painting, so you're just basically painting it up a little bit. There we go. If you don't like it, do Command Z. And a linear gradient. So I'm going to do a linear gradient all the way right over here, the bottom. Do a little bit of exposure. And do another linear gradient here from the side. Do a little more exposure. About right there, maybe. All right, and then once we go back, always in the present, I like to do a little dehaze. Dehaze, a little clarity, a little texture right there. All right. Final part. Once you're done, once you are happy and you have everything needed, we're going to go from develop. I'm going to go to library. Oh, actually, I should mention one thing. I'm going to go back here. Not quite done yet. So This is something I wanted to add, and I just noticed it because I did a practice on my own from this. So we have everything we edited so far after masking. I like to encourage you to once you go back to basics, and you're going to click on these little boxes over here. It's called a profile browser. You have several different options here at the end, what's called artistic, film inspired, and modern and vintage. There are several different filters, profile settings that you can add. Some that are more based on film. You just hover your mouse on top. Do not click it. It just gives you a preview of what it would look like. It's a great way to experiment and take it to another level once you finish. Give it kind of a different feel and vibe. While this one, some of them are really cool, like this one, which looks like an old film. Try to remember that the series is called Red. If you click on something that makes the background look too orange or too purple, like this one looks too orange, it wouldn't fit. This one is still red, so you can keep the background red. I encourage you just to take a look at each one. Which one catches your eye? I like this one. That looks pretty cool. It's very sharp. This one's a little more muted, which is not bad actually. Maybe I might choose this one. Kind of see the more of the details, and also it's still red in the background. Gives me more of the focus on the face. Okay, I encourage you to do that. Once you do that, you go ahead and click on close. And there we have it. We have our full photo. Now, go to library. In library, you're going to go ahead and click on export. Here's where we're going to have to change things. It is a process. Number one, under folder, you're going to choose documents. Do not put in a subfolder. Don't click on any of these over here. Next, you are going to give it a custom name. You're going to call this one by your last name and first name. So, last name, first name. Don't copy that. Put your first and last name. This is called red. And then put your period number in the class. This is 10. We're going to change the image format to a TIFF file. No compression. We are going to change the color space. Keep it at sRGB over here. We are going to change the bit from 8 to 16 bit. We are going to do HDR output, maximize compatibility. Next, we are going to resize to fit. Don't enlarge. We're going to do inches, and we're going to change this one to 13 by 19. Resolution is 300. There we go, 300 pixels per inch. You're going to sharpen for glossy paper, and the amount is going to be high. Oh, excuse me, the amount is going to be standard. Standard. There we go. Now I'm going to keep this as a preset because I do come to this. I'm going to call this one glossy print preset. I do use this a lot, so I'm going to keep this so that way I can go back to it. Once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and click on export. It's going to export. I'm going to go here to my Finder, go to Documents, and there you have it. Here's your TIFF file. Quick look. There we go. Let's zoom in. That's a large, large file right here. Looks cool. Kind of looks like a comic book. Alrighty, there you go. Once you have that, you're able to upload. Go here, you're able to submit your photo over here. Drag your photo here and submit your assignment when you're finished. Best of luck. Be proud of your work.